I have been starting this practice in the morning, a part of my morning routine where I pray, right? I pray in the morning, and the first thing that I do is give thanks, right? And so there's a scripture that says, enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise, right? And so I go in there like, thank you. Like, let me go into this space where I'm praying and venting and all these things. Well, let me start with gratitude. Let me start with saying thank you, right? Because there's so many things that we just take for granted just in our everyday lives. We're so used to them that we think that we'll always have them. And a lot of times it's not until we either experience illness or loss or like some devastating thing that we were like, dang, I wish I still had this thing, right? Like we don't really realize what we're missing until it's gone. It's a cliche, but it's true. And so like I will write down anything, right? Like I'm thankful for my fingernails, for my eyelashes, like things that we take for granted. Imagine if you didn't have fingernails. Imagine if you couldn't scratch, right? Imagine if you couldn't pick something open, right? Like imagine if, and some people don't have eyelashes, right? To be fair, but our eyelashes serve a purpose. They protect our eyes from like falling debris and oil. Sometimes the oil still gets in my eyes, but I'm still grateful for those things, right? And so I want to make sure that I'm going in here saying thank you. And even if I wake up in a bad mood, if I wake up, frustrated or pissed off, like when I'm giving thanks, it really changes my mindset. It changes my demeanor and it changes my perspective. Like it's no longer just like, everything sucks, everything is horrible. It really changes my perspective and I have more joy in my morning, right? When I'm saying thank you. And a lot of times I only mean to write 5 things I'm thankful for. The page keeps going. Thank you so much for a sunny day. Thank you so much for the birds chirping outside. Thank you so much for breath in my lungs. Thank you so much for movement, like the movement of my body, right? Thank you so much for circulation. Thank you so much for healing. Like if I hurt myself or if my stomach was upset the night before, because I do be getting upset. Like, thank you that I'm waking up and my stomach doesn't hurt, right? Thank you so much. And so I've been really trying to focus on gratitude. First of all, I've been trying to focus on joy. I've been trying to focus on joy in my life, and that starts with being thankful for what I already have. And so the last video I talked about just getting started, talking about starting our new endeavors, talking about chasing our dreams, and how a lot of us are convincing ourselves that we don't have what we need to get going, but we should be grateful for and thankful for what we already have access to, because a lot of times we're taking those things for granted. Thank you for the internet. Thank you for a computer, right? Like I'm thankful for the ability to see, the ability to read, right? Some people can't read. Can you imagine like going through life not being able to read? People do it every day, obviously, but like we have the privilege of being able to read, to understand. Some people can't comprehend things. Some people can't comprehend speech. Like there's so many things that we take for granted. And I just want to make sure that we're actually taking time to be grateful for or expressing gratitude towards the things that we are grateful for. We can even thank ourselves, right? Like one of the things I wrote in one of these mornings in the past days was like, thank you, body, for taking care of me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for healing me, right? Because as a woman, I struggle with self-image issues, right? And I'm still trying to work through that. And it came with years and years of like putting myself down or other people making fun of me, all these other things. So it's going to take time. But like I'm changing the way that I look at my body as this thing to be consumed by other people, and making it and actually focusing on the miracle that my body actually is, right? So I have a song called Body Beautiful. And in this song, I'm like, oh, my body's a miracle, right? Like my body is a miracle. Oh, my body's a miracle, right? And it's like, my body is beautiful because just think of all the things our body is doing while we're existing. It's breathing without us telling it to breathe. The heart is thumping without us telling our heart to thump. The mind is working, we're blinking and we don't even realize we're blinking. Like just so many things we're taking for granted. And all our body wants to do is to love us and keep us safe. But so often we tear down our bodies. We point out the things that are wrong with it. We say, oh, this is too fat, or this is too thin, or this stretch mark here, this dimple here, this cellulite here, this mole here, right? And so like we're focusing on all the things that are physically, that physically don't fit the world's version of what beautiful is, but the whole makeup of the body is beautiful. The whole like creation of the body is beautiful. The whole system of how the body works is mind-blowing. People go to school for years to study the body and they're still amazed. There's still more things to learn, right? There's still more things to appreciate about our bodies. Like our bodies grow and they stretch. And they hold the soul that we have inside of us. But we're too busy pointing out like, oh, I don't like my hair, or I don't like the color of my eyes, or I don't know. I don't like my stretch marks. And it's like, girl, like, or guy, right? Like your stretch marks, like the beauty of your body being able to stretch. All stretch marks mean is that either you were skinny and you got heavier, or you were heavy and you got skinny, right? Like, and so that in itself is a miracle. Like you're not popping, you know what I'm saying? You're not exploding. Your body is stretching and making room for you. Even my hair. I had this whole thing about my hair, about the grade of my hair. It's like, whatever. Black women in their hair, you already know. And so I was writing out like, thank you hair for keeping me warm. Thank you for curling into each other. Thank you for hugging my scalp, right? Like, thank you for wanting to be close to me. Like changing the language we speak about ourselves and other people and other things, right? Even spending money. I don't like spending money, okay? And a lot of that is because of trauma, money trauma. But I feared spending money because I'm like, dang, this is less money I'm gonna have, right? This is coming out the bank account. But I'm like, thank you, God, that I have money to spend. Thank you that I actually can pay my bills, right? Like I'm annoyed, but thank you that I can pay my bills because some people can't pay their bills, right? Like thank you for these, even the problems we have. And I'm not trying to be super positive or like, because there are some things that are just obnoxious and harmful, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ability to make a choice. Like thank you for the ability to have choices. Thank you for the ability that I get to choose where I want to go today, that I get to choose what I'm doing, because there are some people who don't have that choice, right? So really changing the narrative around how we look at things, ourselves and other people. Thank you that this person is here. Thank you that they exist. Like there are so many people in my life that I'm like, God, did you fashion them just for me? Like, I am so grateful. Obviously not, right? But I'm so grateful that I get to be a part of their lives. I get to hear them laugh. I get to benefit from their life. I get to benefit from their stories, their experiences, their love, right? Because they don't have to love me. Love is a choice. They choose to love me. And so I'm grateful for them. And I know that I need to be more vocal about that, because I want them to know how grateful I am to have them in my life. And while some people get like really uncomfortable with stuff like that, like they're like, it's not that serious. I think it's that serious. I think it's that serious because a lot of times we don't realize how much we appreciate something, again, until it's gone. And I don't want us to do that. I want to be grateful for the fresh air, the scent of the sea breeze coming off the ocean. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like grateful for a deep breath. Like take a deep breath and feel how good that feels. Like that's so grounding. And it's like, and Jamal just said, gratitude is healing. It is. Gratitude is healing. And it's a tool that we don't use often enough. Like it's really easy, I feel like, to complain about everything. It's really easy to say, I don't have enough of this. It's really easy to be like, dang, I wish I had X, Y, and Z, and look over the things we've already been gifted, like breath, like choice, like sight, like, and it's not an ableist way, right? But like for the things that we have access to, for touch, the fact that we can feel different textures, right? There are some people, even for pain, right? And not like someone causing me harm, but thank you that my body will send me signals that something is wrong. Because there are people who cannot feel pain, and that's dangerous. There are people who can break their legs, they will feel nothing. And they'll be walking on a broken leg or a fractured limb without even knowing, right? And so like the ability to experience pain, even in our bodies saying, hey, something's wrong. Something's not right. Like I have IBS and I cannot do milk. I can't do milk. I can't do it. It's really annoying, but I'm glad that my body can tell me that this is not working, right? I'm glad my body can tell me, girl, we don't like this, right? And it sucks while you're going through it, but I'm grateful that my body can send me those signals and those messages. Or pleasure, right? Pleasurable feelings, a hug, like drinking cold water on a hot day. Like these are little experiences that we experience in our life that we take for granted. We're just like, whatever. There are some people who don't have cold water. There are some people who don't have clean water. There are some people who don't know what it's like to feel the feeling of a shower. I love shower on the back of my neck. That is like, top tier feelings. But like we tend to, again, overlook all these things because of the privileges we have, because we're so used to them. And I think that we should be more intentional about showing gratitude to things and for things and for people. Because, yeah. So again, I am not self-made. I am not just Alicia because I'm Alicia. I am Alicia because I am around other people, because I am supported. And so I want to make sure that I'm showing my appreciation. Like there's some of y'all watching, 24 y'all watching right now. Y'all don't gotta be watching this. Y'all could be doing anything else. There are a lot of things going on YouTube today or Facebook or whatever it is, right? But you what is it? You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, right? And I appreciate you, and I see you, and I appreciate you. Hi, Carla. Welcome. I just shouted you out. You were the first person I thanked for, let's see if I can show my screen again, for supporting my project. And also, Carla was the first person to actually support my Patreon. So shout out to you, okay? You made me feel like anything was possible. But yes, there's your name. Yay. All right. Okay, so let me get back to my notes. Okay, so the definition of gratitude, right? And y'all know I love definitions. Oh, Marcus says, yes, heart thumping. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, and I don't have to tell my heart to thump. I don't say heart thump. I don't have to like physically, contract and expand my heart. It does it by itself, And so I'm grateful that it does it by itself because some people's heart can't do it. Some people have to be attached to a machine to make their heart pump, right? So we really got to focus on what we have access to. Hey, yeah, shout out to Carla. I wish I had horns, but yeah. Yay. Okay, so yes. So the definition of gratitude, to show appreciation of something, right? And so I'm like, okay, appreciation, right? When I think of appreciation, I think of something rising in value, something rising in value, right? So something appreciates over time, right? That kind of example. Carla says, I'm so happy that I woke up in time to catch you all. Yay! We're happy that you're here. Welcome. Hi, Marissa. I hope I'm saying that right. Marissa, I think. New subby here. Welcome. Been enjoying your content. Very grateful for the jewels. Oh, yay! Thank you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Hi, Michelle. New subscriber here and thankful for you. Thank you. I'm thankful for you. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to y'all. Okay, yes. Okay, so when something appreciates in value, right, it means that more value is added to that thing. So like, I think of stocks. I think of what do you call it? What do people buy? Like valuables. That's not the right word, but something in like an heirloom or something will appreciate over time, because it's like, it's old, right? It's old and it's like an antique. And so now it's appreciating in value. And I think that when we express gratitude towards things, people, experiences, places, our body, in our minds, we raise the value that we have for that thing, right? So it's like, again, waking up in the morning, thank you for a deep breath. Thank you for that stretch. Oh, that felt great, right? Thank you for activity of my limbs. Thank you for the dreams I had last night. Thank you that I can hear the trees outside my window. Thank you for the fresh air. Like me and Marcus were just talking about that, right? Okay, yes. Thank you, Marcus. Like home, your home appreciates in values. Absolutely. And yeah, Jamal said like crypto appreciates in value. So these things, like you see them, there's like an uptick that's happening, right? And so the more that we focus on the things that we're grateful for, the higher the value of those things become. And I found that when I am expressing gratitude for even my body, right? For my body healing itself and healing me and holding me and trying to keep me safe and doing all the things, taking the fats from the food and moving it to my body, for even gaining weight. Even gaining weight, it's like your body is hoarding the food that you eat for later, right? It's like, hey, and though we might not like it, it's doing its job. Your body's doing its job. It's processing the nutrients from your food, right? So those things. And so instead of tearing down my body or depreciating, right, allowing my body to depreciate in value in my mind, if I'm focused on what I'm grateful for my body, it appreciates. The way that I'm thinking about my body is not just for, again, I'm not thinking about it for public consumption for everybody else. I'm thinking about it as in like, no, my body is a miracle. Like my body is working. I'm sweating right now, right? My body is working because it wants to cool me down. It's like, girl, what's going on? Send some sweat, right? Like this is what I'm grateful for. And so when I'm focused on these things, it changes my mindset from, again, degrading my body, from talking down to myself, from being so hard on myself, to giving myself grace, giving myself love, right? And me and Marcus were talking earlier about like just diets, like how we're so, like we can be so hard on our bodies. I was trying to do a juice diet, y'all. I was trying to do a juice diet and by not even a whole day. Was it a whole day? Maybe a whole day. I was on the phone with Marcus like, I really don't want to do this. and he's basically like, why do you have to? Why do you have to do this? Like, why do you feel like you have to do this? And when I really thought about it, it's like when I'm doing a juice diet or a juice cleanse, I think, for some healing and stuff like that, I was having stomach issues. And I thought that the less that I ate, the less friction against my stomach. And so the healthier it'll be. That was just my logic. I'm not a nutrition. I don't know if that's true. But that was just my logic. And I was also like, well, I can also lose some weight if I do this juice diet, right? And so when he asked me that question, like, but why? Why do we have to do this? And I'm really thinking to myself, like, why am I being hard on my body? My body is just trying to do what it needs to do. Maybe I can eat things. And so he was saying, like, food is healing, right? I don't need to deprive my body of food. I need to give it the right food to heal it. I need to be gentle with my body, right? I need to help it. I need to aid it in healing. And I can't do that by starving myself, right? I can't do that by treating myself poorly, because if in my mind I think badly about my body, everything I do is going to be unhealthy. Everything I do is going to be toxic to myself. Like, no, like I can eat meals like, you know what? Let me just eat better to heal my stomach. Let me just eat better to heal my body. Let me think better thoughts about my body instead of being like, something's wrong with it. I gotta change it. It's like, or we can accept it, celebrate it, and give it what it needs to thrive. Right? And I think that's a different perspective to have when we're coming to our body, things, people, all those kinds of things. Epic Tell, hi. Grateful for you, sis. Just turn in for a sec. Please check me in your email. Oh, absolutely. Thank you for being here. Welcome. If you got to go, it's fine. Usually we do Monday nights. I'll be honest, I wasn't feeling it. I was tired. I was exhausted. We were in North Carolina all weekend, and we came back and I was like, I'm just very tired. So I appreciate y'all being here with me on Wednesday. Yes. Okay. All right. So we're blind, right? We're blind to the things that we have around us that we should be grateful for, right? We're blind to it. We allow those things to depreciate. We are unwilling to celebrate the magic that happens in our everyday life. The rain falling. That's beautiful to me. Like it's raining right now. So the fact that rain falls and it doesn't fall all together, like the water just doesn't pour out the clouds, right? The water, it falls one raindrop at a time. To me, that's beautiful. And the sound of it, right? The cleansing feeling you have when you listen to rain or when you're sitting in the rain. You know, like these are things that we take for granted. The falling snow, the wind blowing through the trees. And I feel like in order to express gratitude or to be more grateful for what we have in our lives, we have to be still. We have to be quiet. We have to be observant, right? Because this world is so busy. We're always on the go. We're always on to the next thing. We're always prioritizing things that really don't matter in the long run, to be quite honest. We're prioritizing, we're always distracted. That's the word I'm looking for. We're distracted. And so when we're distracted, we're unable, lightning. So again, if I lose connection, y'all know what happened. But we're always distracted. And so when we are distracted, we're unable to recognize the beauty that is all around us. We're unable to be grateful for what we have. Y'all hear that? We're unable to be grateful for what we have because we're too focused on what we don't have, or what's happening outside of us, or what's happening on our screens, or, you know what I'm saying? Like we're always distracted.